Albion make it 5 wins on the spin as they keep on climbing the table. As for Sunderland, they're making a conservative push for the top 2. Can they make it? We'll see next. That's right, folks. Back on another prediction show today. We take a look at match number 36 out in the old League One, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, where the heck are you been, boys? Smash your subscribe button to get your bang out today with all things Blackburn Rovers related, League One related. Here we go here. Under Warruski, that's right. Burton Albion move the bloody chains once again with a big, impressive win against AFC Wimbledon. But keep your eyes open. Of course, the Mackhams are making the push for the top 2. We'll take a look at all of that in a minute. Of course, I want to make big shout out to the VIP Band of Brothers. You know who I'm on about. What am I on about? Well, I'll tell you what I'm on about. I'm on about this, boys and girls. Whoosh, right here, of course, the Blackburn Roverseas Patreon page. Shake it all out. We're trying to get our numbers up to 30 for the time being, and then we'll kick it on further for 50 by the end of the calendar year. Check it all out, patreon.com/Roverseas. You can join for a little or for as much as you like, or somewhere in between. For, you know, it's less than a bottle of Coke per month. You can become the latest member of the gang and become the new best mate for life. Check it all out. Links down in the old description. Become the latest member of the gang. Of course, the latest member of that gang is Michael Collier. So a big shout out once again for him for joining the Band of Brothers. Let's get into it though. Of course, take a look at the last round of matches before we kick it on further with the next. Kick it on off. It was, of course, on Tuesday bloody night. Wimbledon against Burton. Another win for Burton. Another clean sheet for Scotty, for matey boy Hayden Carter. Michael Boswick on the score sheet for Burton, giving them the double action with a 2-0 win, so not too shabby. Of course, Barton's boys with the Bristol Roses 4-1 win over Accrington Stanley. Good result for them in the end. 4-1 action with a 2-1 win for Accrington Stanley. Goals were Luke Leahy, Alex Rodman, Sam Nicholson, Shane Westbrook on the score sheet. Paul Smith getting a goal for Accrington Stanley, but it's too little, too late. Meanwhile, Charlton with the 2-1 winners over Northampton down as well with with Colin Washington with a brace. Alexander Jones getting the goal for Northampton, but again, too little, too late. Actually, with a 2-2 draw on this one, but unfortunately, I was wrong. Crewe won their winners over Doncaster Rovers. Michael Mandrill on the score sheet for Crewe, giving them the W. Of course, moved the chains for those guys. 2-1 win for Doncaster was my pick. Unfortunately, I got it wrong. Of course, Cookies boys. That's right. Paul Cook and the gang 1-1 draw over Lincoln City. James Wilson on the score sheet for Ipswich. Morgan Rogers on the score sheet for, of course, Lincoln to give themselves another point as they move towards the top 2 as well. Actually, went with a 2-2 draw, so not too shabby on that one. Of course, MK Dons play good football. Unfortunately, they were on the receiving end of a defeat. Jerry Yates on the score sheet for Blackpool, giving them the win. 1-0 win. They called it absolutely bang on the nose. Next up, of course, Peterborough. High flying Peterborough stumbled here. 3-1 loss to Hull. Reece Burke, Keane Lewis, Potter, and Malik Wicks on the score sheet from the penalty spot, giving Hull the 3 points. Reece Brown and Ethan Hamilton Reece Brown scored. Ethan Hamilton got himself sent off in a bit of a Bobby Dazzler. 3-2 going the other way was my pick. Kicking on forward, Plymouth Argyle. They lost Wigan. Make it 2 wins on the bounce, I think. And they're actually out of the drop zone. Goodness gracious me. Read that again. 2-0 winners, that's right, Wigan. Viv Solomon October on Scottish Curtis Tilt as well, giving Wigan the W. Actually, remember the 1-1 draw. It says 2-1 here. I don't know if that's right. Is that bloody right? 2-1? I don't know where the heck they got that scoreline from. It's 2-0. It's 2 bloody 0, unless the game's still going on. I don't think it is. Regardless, it was a 2-0 win. Scrap that one. I don't know what that's all about. Anyway, kicking on further, Rochdale. They got beat by Shrewsbury Town. Of course, it was a... This is where it might have gone all hinky here. Shrewsbury. Nope, 2-0. 2-0 in the end. Goals from, who was it? Joshua Daniels and Josh Feller on the score sheet. The Joshes. They're kicking ass and taking names of the 2-0 win. Actually, the 1-0 for Shrewsbury as they keep moving the change. Meanwhile, Swindon, they lost to Oxford United. That's right, 2-1 in the end on that badger. We got Brandon Barker, Daniel Agagi on the score sheet with Taylor Curran getting the goal for Swindon. Too little, too late. Got that one bang on the nose, boys. Bang on the nose. Meanwhile, Fleetwood Town, they did beat Gillingham, I think. It was a 1-0 win in the end. Of course, Grayson's boys, Carl Vassell on the score sheet, giving Fleetwood the W. Gillingham, of course, unfortunately on the receiving end. And a bit of a fruity one at the end here, of course. 2-0 win for Sunderland over Pompey. Actually went in favour of Portsmouth, but unfortunately, no bueno. Sunderland came in on top with Charlie White. Jordan Jones on the score sheet as Sunderland came out on top with the W. And of course, got myself 3, 4, 5, 6. Not too shabby what the table looks like. Here it comes. Hull City lead the charge, 3 points clear over Peterborough, who are 1 point clear over Lincoln City. Of course, games in hand for a lot of the chasing pack, including Doncaster, who are back into the top 5. Of course, Portsmouth in 6. Ipswich make a push as well. Charlton, Oxford, still in the hunt, as at Accrington, and maybe, keep an eye on Blackpool, keep an eye on those guys. They've got games in hand. As for the foot of the table, of course, Rochdale, Wimbledon and Swindon going down alongside Northampton Town. Wigan, the biggest movers, as the Bristol Rovers and Burton and Albion. Goodness gracious me. Let's kick it on further. Of course, take a look at how you all got on with your picks. Here we bloody go. Not 3 even the shit-faced gang. 4 to 7 straight face. Got an 8 plus. Where are you? You're in the top bins. Here we go. LMC, you know me. You did very, very well, of course. Well done to you, of course. Game Charlie did bits. Jonathan Sandham also did good. Of course, Joachim Jackson also did very, very well. Well played, my brother, of course. Okay, did okay. STS Jink also did good. Russell Frost also did very, very well, of course. Ivan Stringer did bits. Poop, of course. Your boss also did shite. Mascaville, you had a nightmare. Overlord Army also did okay. Vince Long did bits. Anorana did absolutely good. Of course, Friday 77 also did good. Leeds 2021, not too shabby, of course. Chris Hayne also did good. Alaji Ojo, well played to you, of course. Forever Football PUFC also did good. James PCFC on, great. And of course, Shepard also did very, very well. And Ocha Omamura, well played to you, brother. A big, big shout out to you guys, of course. Anyway, if your name's Ivan Stringer, Omar Esquivel, Yannick Bossa, close your bloody eyes. If your name is we were Russell Frost, Anorana, James PCFC, Shepard, of course. Forever Football PUFC, Ultra Omamura, take a bloody bow. Yes, well played, of course, you guys. All you guys are wearing the crowns for this week and this week alone. Unfortunately, that week will end abruptly because, of course, we've got games coming at you in very, very few days, of course. But what's the overall table? Of course, Frosty was leading it, and he's probably strengthened his case once more with, of course, a fantastic big old points haul. Beating Jakob Jakobsen had a nightmare. So Russell Frost has at least extended his lead 3 points clear of Jakob Jakobsen, who needs to step up the plate, of course, this coming match day. It is tight, airtight. Frosty, Jakobsen, and STFC Jenko are realistically the big boys going for, of course, the overall crown for League One glory. We'll have a look at that. We'll see how that pans out in the next round of matches, of course, kicking all off this Friday weekend, of course. It goes into Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Is that right? Is that what it is? I think that's what it is. Let me see. Let me bloody see. Let me bloody see. Let me bloody see. Why does it say here? The 16th. The 16th of March. It's Peterborough, Pompey. Weird one. We've got a weird one. So these bottom two here are not the ones we're looking at. These are not the droids we're looking at, okay? So when we get to this, just forget about it. It's gone a little bit weird. We're going to kick it off with a game that will go ahead this weekend unless something funky goes on. It's Swindon up against Gillingham, of course. Played for the last 6. 1 for Swindon, 3 for Gillingham. 2 draws, of course, last round. And Swindon was a 3-1 win for Swindon back in, of course, February 2017. Rowan Eaton on the score sheet, Jonathan Abika and Raphael Rossi as well. Could have been done on the score sheet, of course, for Gillingham last round. However, they also played each other this season at Priestfield as a 2-0 win for Gillingham back in, of course, December 5th of course. Swindon have actually lost their last 3 matches in League One, and they've also lost with a 1-goal margin as well. Coming into this, just 1 win in the past 5 games for Gillingham, for Swindon, that was against Northampton Town. Meanwhile, just 1 defeat in the past 4 for Gillingham. That 1 defeat was against Fleetwood just the other day. A look at the bookies odds on this one then, shall we? We have Swindon 90-10 for the victory, 9-4 is draw, 7-5 is your Gillingham on this. Of course, Gillingham have got an ambitious attempt to make the top 6. They're in 13th, better win for them. They could actually move up to 9th. As for the opposition, Swindon all the way down in the drop zone, better win for them. They could actually go as high as 19th in the table. Tight one this one. I'm going to go with a 0-0 draw. All split right down the middle. Next up, of course, the Blackpool taking on, of course, Fleetwood Town. Of course, Northwest Crutch Class. This one plays for the last 6. 3 for Blackpool, 2 for Fleetwood, 1 draw. Last round, Blue for Rose, a 3-1 win for Blackpool back in, of course, December 2019. Goal scorers on the day, Liam Feeney, of course, ex-Rover, Sully Kakai as well, Armand Jean Delay as well, Conor McCaney on score, of course, for Fleetwood. They also picture of this season out in Fleetwood, of course, 1-0 win for Blackpool back in the day. Of course, Gary Madine on the score sheet, of course, back in December. They also played in the Papa John's Trophy, and it was a 0-0 draw, and I think Fleetwood came out on top also in December. Though Blackpool come into this undefeated in their last 9 home matches. Fleetwood have actually won their last 3 matches in League One, so they've turned a corner. Just 1 defeat past 6 games for Fleetwood against Sunderland. Meanwhile, unbeaten the last 6. That's Blackpool. So 2 teams in a good bit of form at the moment. Look at the book. It's also this one. 11-10 for Blackpool. 12-5 is your Fleetwood. Of course, 12-5 is also your draw. Blackpool coming to sit in 11th, and win for them. They could actually go as high as 7th. Get in your veins. Fleetwood are down to 14th, but a win for them. They could actually go as high as 11th in the table. For me, another tight one. This one, but I'm going to give it to Blackpool with a 2-1 win over Blackpool, over Fleetwood to take the 3 points and maybe move into the top, into the playoff reckoning. Next up, they have Bristol Roses up against AFC Wimbledon. Let's take a look at this one then, shall we? Of course, played for the last 6. 3 for Bristol Rovers, 2 for Wimbledon, 1 draw last round. In Bristol was in the Papa John's Trophy just a couple of weeks ago, back in January. Of course, 1-0 win for Wimbledon. However, they also played for the last season in the league. It was a 2-1 win for Wimbledon, with Johnson, Clark, Harris on the score sheet for Bristol Rovers, Marcus Force on the score sheet for Wimbledon, Joe Piggott as well. They also played for this season out in Wimbledon. It was a 6-goal thriller going in favour of Bristol Rovers, 4-2 in the end. For Wimbledon, though, failed to win 10 of the last 11 away matches. They come into this just 1 win the past 6. That 1 wins against Gillingham. Meanwhile, 2 wins wins the past 4 games for Bristol Rovers has them believing that they're going to stick around in the division for another year. But with the bookies odds, 23-24, Bristol Rovers 5-2, draw 11-5 is your Wimbledon. Of course, Wimbledon come into this in the drop zone, but for them, they could actually go above Bristol Rovers up to 19th, depending on goal difference. As for Bristol Rovers in 19th, they could win this and they could close it in on Burton, who are in 18th, who have got a bit of a wiggle room, bit of safety. Got to go with the 2-0 for Barton's boys. 2-0 win. Bristol Rovers take the 3 points. Charlton, though, taking, of course, Shrewsbury. Played to the last 6, of course. 3 wins for Charlton, 2 for Shrewsbury, 1 draw last round. At the Valley, of course, was back in, of course, August 2018. 2 win Taylor and Grant on the score sheet. Lionel John Lewis on the score sheet, of course, for Shrewsbury as they lost. Meanwhile, they also played to the Meadow Lane. It was a 1-1 draw back in December, of course. 1-1. Oliver Norman on the score sheet for Shrewsbury. Ben Watson get the goal for Charlton. As points were split right down the middle. Of course, heading into this, Shrewsbury just 1 win the past 4 games. That 1 was against Rochdale just the other day. 3 games unbeaten there for Charlton, picking up 2 wins and a draw to boot, as they also try to make another conservative push for the top 6. Bookies odds 5-1 for Charlton, 9-4 is your draw, 11-5 is your Shrewsbury. Sorry, that's wrong. 5-4 on for Charlton, 9-4 for Shrewsbury, 11-5 is the draw. Shrewsbury coming to this, of course, all the way down to 17th, but a win for them. They could actually go as high as 16th, whereas Charlton are actually in 8th. A win for them. They could get in the top 6, boys. They could squeeze into the top 6. Charlton will get a point out of this one, 1-1 in the end. Crewe were taking, of course, in form Burton Albion, of course, played to the last 6. 1 win for Crewe, 2 for Burton, 3 draws last round in Crewe. In I can't remember where they play. 1-1 draw in the end. Back in, of course, March 2016. Marcus Haber on the score sheet. Lucas Atkins as well. They also played at Burton back in, of course, in December. 1-1 draw as well on that one, of course. In fact, the last 3 matches in the league between these 2 sides have ended up all square. Burton have actually won the last 5 away matches. Crewe, though, undefeated in the last 11 at home. They come into this, though, just 1 defeat in the past 5 games. That's Crewe. That 1 defeat was against Lincoln. Like I said, Burton have actually 5 games win run. Of course, looking very, very good at the moment. A look at the bookies odds on this one then. Crewe 2019 on for the victory. They are favourites. 5-2 draw. 14-5 is your Burton. Burton come into this, of course, in 18th, and for them they could close it in on 17th. Of course, Crewe are actually in 12th, and a win for them they could get themselves back into dreaming again, up to as high as 7th. I've gone 2-2 on this one. I cannot separate the 2 sides. Next up we have Doncaster overtaking, of course, Northampton. Bloody town. Played to the last 6. 3 for Doncaster, 2 for Northampton. 1 draw last time around at Keepmoat was a 3-0 win for Doncaster. Back in, of course, Boxing Day 2017. James Coppinger, Niall Mason, and of course Andy Butler on the score sheet. They also played to this season at Northampton. It was a 2-0 win for Doncaster. Tyrese Johns, Jules, and Joe Wright on the score sheet. Of course, Sean McWilliams got himself sent off for Northampton. Heading into this, Northampton have actually failed to win the last 11 away matches. Doncaster have actually scored at least 2 goals in 5 of the last 6 matches at home. They come into this, though, just 1 defeat the past 3 games for Doncaster, of course, losing the Crewe just the other day. Meanwhile, same can be said for Northampton, just 1 defeat the past 3. In fact, these 2 sides have got identical records, losing 3 of the past 6 games apiece in the same amount of time as well. Look at the bookies odds on this one, then, shall we? Of course, 2017 on for Doncaster. Yeah, Stone Cold favourites. 13-5 is your draw. 65 is your Northampton. Northampton are in the drop zone, but for them, they could actually go as high as 19th. Whereas Doncaster sit in 5th, and win for them they could close it in on 4th. Doncaster will nick this one with the 1 they win over Northampton Town. Hull City, they're of course taking on Oxford United. Of course, played to the last 6. 1 for Hull, 2 for Oxford, 3 draws last time around. The whether they call it the KCOM. Of course, 2-1 win for actually scrap that. It was a 4-2 win for Hull all the way back in January 2004. Oh my goodness! Also with a couple of goals there, Burgess and Crosby as well. Basham and Bound on the score sheet for Oxford. Of course, they also played to this season at the Kazama. It was a 1-1 draw back in, of course, December. James Henry and Drake Doherty on the score sheet for Hull. Hull winning the last 4 matches, of course, keeping clean sheet in 5 of the last 7 matches as well. At home, Oxford are undefeated in 17 of the last 19 matches in League One. They come into this just winning 1 of the past 6 games, though the rest have been draws and like 4 draws. On the flip side, 4 wins on the spin for Hull. They're looking very, very good at the moment, looking very, very sharp. Hull coming at you. 11-10 for the victory, of course. Stone Cold favourites 5-2 is draw. 3-1 is your Oxford. Oxford coming into this in 9th, but a win for them. They could actually go into the top 6. Hull are top, and they'll be top if they get a draw or more. For me, I think they'll get a 3-0 win here. Convincing win over Oxford United in the bloody end. Ipswich Town, of course, who are they taking on? Plymouth Argyle, of course, plays for the last 6. 2 for Ipswich, 1 for Plymouth, and 3 draws last round. At Portman Rose, a 2-0 win for Plymouth. Back in, of course, March 2010. Bradley White Phillips on score, Joe Mason as well. They also played at Home Park, whatever it was, back in, of course, December this year. 2-1 win for Ipswich, Joe Nolan, Caden Wright Jackson on score, Luke Jepcott as well. Danny Mayer get himself sent off. Of course, heading into this, Plymouth conceded at least 2 goals in the last 5 matches. Also, Plymouth losing their last 3 matches in League One. They've actually just won once of the past 6 games. That 1 was against Lincoln City. Meanwhile, Ipswich coming to this back-to-back games without a win. So not the start Cookie wants to do with his boys, of course. Look at the bookies odds on this one, 11 to 10 on for the Ipswich area favourites, 5-2 draw, 3-1 is, of course, your Plymouth. Of course, where are they? Plymouth sit in 15th, and with them they could actually go as high as 11th, whereas opposition Ipswich are 7th, and with them they could actually go as high as 6th. That's playoff talk, boys. That's playoff talk. They'll get the W here, 2-1 win over Plymouth in the end. Lincoln City, of course, taking, of course, Rochdale. Of course, it's third up against bottom. Played the last 6, 2 for Lincoln, 1 for Rochdale, 3 draws last round at Lincoln. 3-1 win for Rochdale back in, of course, 2009 in League 2. Chris Hurd on the score sheet, of course, for Lincoln City. Chris O'Grady, Craig Dawson and Joe Thompson on the score sheet for Rochdale as they smashed them. Of course, they also played at Spotlands back in, of course, December, 2-0 win for Lincoln. James Jones and Lewis Montgomery as well on the score sheet for Lincoln City. Of course, Rochdale failing to score in the last 7 matches. Also lost the last 4 as well. They went on a run. Remember when they went on a run, scoring a shit ton load of goals? That's been 4 defeats and there's been 4, of course, Rochdale. It's just been 1 win at the past 5 games for Lincoln City. That 1 win was against Crewe. Look at the bookies odds on this one, shall we? Of course, Crewe coming after 20-19. Nope. Lincoln City 9-4 for the victory there. Stone Cold favourite, 7-2 is your draw, 11-2 is your Rochdale. Rochdale coming to this route to the foot table, but a win for them. They could actually go as high as 22nd. Of course, Lincoln are 3rd, and for them they could go 2nd in the table. They'll get the win here with the 2-0 win over Rochdale, who are struggling. Next up, they have MK Bloody Dons taking, of course, Accrington Stanley. That's right, played for the last 6, 4 for MK Dons, 2 for Accrington Stanley, no draws. Last round at the Stadium MK, of course, was a 5-0 win for MK Dons back in December 2017. Keith Andrews, ex-Rover on the score sheet, Alan Navarro, Colin Cameron and Lloyd Dye with a couple of goals there as well, as MK Dons came out on top of the 5-0 win. They also played this season in Accrington. It was a 2-1 win for Accrington, of course, back in the 5th of December. Dorian Charles with a couple of goals there, Carl Morris as well. MK Dons losing the last 3 matches in League 1. They come into this just 1 win the past 6 games. That 1 win against Northampton Town. Same can be said for Accrington, just 1 win in 6. That 1 win they came against Swindon a couple of games back. Look at the bookies odds on this one then, shall we? We've got MK Dons 65 for the victory, 9-4 is your draw. 9-4 is also your away win for Accrington. Accrington coming into this all the way down in 10th now, but a win for them they could actually go as high as 6th. MK Dons are down to 16th, but a win for them they could go to 15th in the table. I've gone with a 2-1 for MK Dons, of course, get back to winning ways and of course move the chains. And like I said, these 2 other ones here are not playing, so don't even bother. I'm telling you, don't even bloody bother. I'm telling you, don't bloody even bother. Don't predict the next 2, all right? So let's get into it. Of course, we're going to plough through it. I made my picks anyway. It's going to all change. We're not even going to look at it. Of course, if I'm right, which I hope so, this is what the table will look like. Or probably not, because I've got the other 2 ones in there. But regardless of all that, get your picks in nice and early for this, and we'll do it all again very, very soon. Until then, though, smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe. We'll be back again, of course, shortly after the conclusion of these games. It'll probably be on Sunday for the next video. Make sure you stick around for that. If you're new, bang the old thumbs up, bang your subscribe, hit the little bell as well. Check out the links down below on Twitter, on Facebook, and again, if you want to support the channel in another way, you could become the latest member of the Patreon gang. Check out that link. It's also in the description. Until then, though, I'll see you all soon. Mask up, 6 feet, and all that kind of stuff. I'll see you all next time.